Right now, she only has the firm support of her own center-right European People's Party, the EPP. This despite after meeting with all of the European Parliament's groups last week, trying to get their support, but the MEPs remained unconvinced. Two of the Parliament's groups have said that they will not support her. That is the Greens and the far-left GUE group, Emmanuel Macron's Renew Europe group of centrists and liberals. Most of them will probably support von der Leyen. That's because they got a nice prime post in the package of top jobs. The position of European Council President went to a liberal, but that does not get her over the line. The magic number here is 374 votes. That number may be slightly different depending on how many MEPs are actually sitting in the chamber today, but just the support of the EPP and Renew Europe does not get her there. What she probably needs is the support of the center-left Socialists and Democrats group, and that's what she's going to be trying to get today. She's going to give a speech to the Parliament at 9 a.m., followed by a debate, and then the vote will take place at 6 after intense meetings all afternoon between her and the Socialists.
Meetings, I imagine, in which she'll be laying out her agenda for what she would put high on the European Union's to-do list. What does it mean when it comes to that EU agenda, or indeed for the EU institutions, if or not she's validated for the position?
Yeah, I mean, the truth here is this isn't really so much about von der Leyen. It's about the situation in which she was picked. Ahead of the election, the European Parliament had put forward this Spitzenkandidat system of lead candidates that campaigned during the election. And 2 weeks ago, in that summit, when the EU leaders were choosing who they would nominate, they were talking about Frans Timmermans, who was the nominee of the Socialists and Democrats group. But in the end, because of a blockage by a combination of hard right and center-right national leaders, they went with von der Leyen, who was not a candidate. And the problem is the European Parliament's main group said they would not support anyone who wasn't a Spitzenkandidat for this post. So that means if they vote for von der Leyen, they are not making good on the threat they made, and they are definitively killing this Spitzenkandidat system that they came up with. The design of that system was to inject more democracy into the European Union, to give voters a say in who the next Commission president is, and to increase the power of the Parliament. So this would be a big surrender for the Parliament. And actually, the best thing that the von der Leyen may have going for her today is the fact that this is a secret ballot, and individually, MEPs may be concerned that if they reject her today, it's going to cause an institutional crisis because there's no plan B here, and they would have to go back to the drawing board. So that secret ballot may be her best hope today.
OK, sounds like an awful lot to play for in that vote. For now, Dave Keating, thanks indeed for that, Dave Keating.